Good morning, all. I'd like to call this meeting to an order and welcome everyone, all of my sunrisers and guests this morning, as we are in the first meeting for the month of March, which is our Water and Sanitation Month. I want to thank everyone for coming up this morning, bright and early, as we commence our meeting this morning. And as we begin our meeting this morning, I would like to begin with prayer and invocation. I will call on Marsha this morning to give us our invocation this morning. She's available. Sure. If not, I'll ask Father Palacios, to give us our invocation this morning.
Let us pray.
Thank you.
Gracious Holy God, we thank you for your gift of this beautiful day. Thank you, Lord, for our club, its members, its impact on the wider community, for all those whom we serve. We ask now that you would bless us during the course of this meeting as we concentrate on Water and Sanitation Month. We pray that you would guide us and our country in the right way, so that at the end of it all, we would be even more devoted to the service of others and to your kingdom. These and all other blessings we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Father Palacios. I would like to invite Rotarian Archulin to give us our loyal toast for this morning.
Good morning to our Rotarians and our special guests on this terrific Thursday. I invite you to prepare at this time, raise your mugs, your glasses, to a toast to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marchelin. In our Rotarian fashion, I'd like to welcome all our guests and make sure that you are special and you're recognized this morning. I would like to invite our secretary to welcome all of our visiting Rotarians and guests this morning.
Thank you, President Therese. Welcome all to our weekly Nassau Sunrise meeting. I would like to say a special good morning to AG Ken, who is visiting with us for our induction this morning. Thank you very much for joining us. We do have also our guest speaker, PAG Mike Stafford, who is our guest speaker today. Thank you also for joining us this morning. I do see another PP title, Albert Ferguson. Can you please open your mic and tell us which club you're visiting from today, please?
Yes, greetings, good morning. I am formerly from past president of the Rotary Club of New Providence. I am now in the Great People's Republic and a member of the Rotary Club of Eleuthera.
He's a Rasta.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I do not see any other guests. So I'd like to say a very warm welcome. Thank you all, and it's good to see you this morning. Back to you, President Therese.
Thank you, Secretary Kimo. I'd like to recognize our announcements for our raffle this morning before we get to announcements. I'd like to speak to Director Tanisha to announce our raffle for this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. This morning we will be raffling off a $100 gas voucher. And tickets are 1 for $5, 3 for $10. We all know we can always use gas. So please purchase your tickets in the chat. That's 1 for $5, 3 for $10, $100 gas voucher.
Thank you, Tanisha. Please let us support our raffle this morning and put your amounts in the chat this morning. Thank you very much. Let us invite our Sergeant of Arms this morning, Kendrick Dames, to give us our jokes and fines this morning. I don't see Kendrick on this morning. Is he in? All right, I don't see our Sergeant at Arms on this morning. Other than that, I would just like to find those members who don't have a pin on this morning. Please put in the chat those of you who have your pin on this morning. I do, so I won't be having a fine. Also, for those Rotarians that did not show up on Rotary Day, please, if you know who you are, who didn't show up on Rotary Day, please, that's a $3 fine for not coming and not participating on Rotary Day at either one of our locations that we had on Saturday past. So please put your $3 in for those who did not participate on Rotary Day. All right. So last night to invite Rotarian Jerice to give us our birthdays and anniversary this morning. Well, I apologize, I don't have a joke, so I'm not really a comedian, right? So no, I don't have any jokes this morning.
Good morning, Rotarians and friends. Today we are celebrating Rotarian Darren Moxley for his birthday this week, and we're wishing him love, light, good health, and success in this new year ahead. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you, Jerice. And if you would have seen Darren, just please wish him happy birthday. I'll give him a message or private message to him, or I know in the chat, recognize his birthday. Thank you very much. I'd just like to open our announcements this morning. And firstly, I would just want to announce that the memorial service for our late Rotarian Sherrera Adderley will be held on next week Friday at March 11th at Bahamas Harvest East Campus at 11 a.m. Please note that there are accommodating seats for us. So please let us show in Rotarian and Sunrise and Rotarian fashion our love and support for her, and as we recognize her her passing. Please let us all come out and show support, please, and honor her life as a Rotarian. Are there any? I'd like to open up any announcements.
Good morning, sunrisers and guests. The time has come that we must put on our first fundraising event to support our MOU with BTVI. Our aim is to raise between $15,000 to $20,000. The scholarship committee has agreed to put on a grand raffle beginning March 17th through May 19th. The prizes are ticket for 2 to Miami, including airfare and hotel, 2-night stay at Atlantis or Bahama, dinner for 2 at Sapodilla Restaurant, an Android cell phone, grocery voucher for $300, $200 gas voucher, and the tickets will be priced at $50. We are targeting organizations for donations. Father Palacios has graciously agreed to draft the letters. Please forward the names of your organizations or the company you work for to him or myself. Special thanks goes out to Rotarian Questrell, who has confirmed that Fidelity has once again committed to donate $5,000 to the scholarship fund. Fellow Rotarians, we need your help to realize our goal this year. Please donate one of the prizes. Ask your co-workers and friends to purchase a ticket. We are also looking for other initiatives to use as our annual fundraiser for this MOU. We invite your ideas, so please let us know. Committee members are myself, President Therese, PAG Karen, PP Tanya, PP Pratano, Rotarian Creswell, Rotarian Father Palacios, and Rotarian Magno. Thank you and have a blessed day, everyone. Back to you, President Therese. Thank you.
Thank you, IPP Francis, and please let us support the upcoming fundraising event for the MOU. This is a great initiative, and I just want to highlight that that we need to, just support our initiatives that we have on tap. And let's like to, before we have a induction of a Rotarian this morning, remember this morning, but I just want to probably do that. I would like to have our Rotary Minute, and then we will move into our induction this morning. So I think we will have a video for the Rotary Minute, Tanisha.
Yes.
A single act of good can go a long way. It can cross oceans, cure disease, and create equality. As members of Rotary, we are people of action, and our actions have the power to speak loud and clear. We're changing lives and creating opportunities through our groundbreaking work in clean water, sanitation, and hygiene. Our global grants help communities create and maintain water resources close to home, because when clean water is within a child's grasp, so is a safe and promising future. We're committed to supporting sanitation projects that meet the needs of women and girls. Our programs provide modern facilities and hygiene training to cultivate long-term health and wellness. From safe access to water to private toilets and programs to teach healthy habits, we're working in homes, clinics, and schools to help families live healthy lives. Rotary Club members unite to create a world where water, sanitation, and hygiene are cornerstones of self-confidence and dignity, well within the reach of families who need it most. With more than a century of experience in service, Rotary is uniquely positioned to meet the challenges of today and fulfill the promise of a peaceful, healthy tomorrow. Your contribution to the Rotary Foundation keeps families connected to a world of good. Every gift is an action that speaks volumes across classrooms, communities, and continents. Learn how you can support the cause that means the most to you.
Thank you for the Rotary Minute this morning. We want to have some visual aspect for what we're doing in water sanitation as Rotary, as Rotarians, and with our gift of the foundation, we can do more. Please know that our club also have given $1,500 to the Hand Wash Initiative in Haiti. It is an initiative that we are able to help many persons who are unable to have access to clear and drinking water. Know that only 30% of Haiti has access to clear and drinking water. So we would like to make, by providing these wells, we're able to increase that percentage and ensure that many persons have access to clear water. As I will be turning it over to AG Ken to induct our new member, Kendrick Dames. I would like to make sure members can turn on their cameras if you're able to. We would like to ensure that our new member sees who our members are. Also, Kendrick, please turn on your camera and open up your mic as we will be able to speak to your new persons. So those who are able to turn on your camera, please do so as we induct our new member, Kendrick Dames, this morning. I'd like to turn it over to AG Ken.
Good morning, all. Thank you, President Therese, and I wish to, how pleased I am to be here this morning. I want to acknowledge, firstly, the presence of our PDG Felix, and also PAG Mike Stafford, all the way from Bahama, PAG Kieran, those of whom I'm seeing, and also acknowledging the past presidents in our midst, and good friend, past President Albert, coming all the way from the Pineapple State. I want to welcome all of you here this morning. It is certainly a pleasure to be here and participate in this most important initiative in Rotary to seek to increase its membership and also to encourage sustainability. Before I move with the induction of our newest member, Kendrick Dames, I will invite his sponsor, Therese, to tell us a little something about a prospective member at this time. So, Prez, I turn back over to you for that bio and information.
Thank you, again. Yes, it is indeed a pleasure of mine to introduce the newest member, Kendrick Dames. I've known Kendrick for a little over 5 years now. He is a local barber, but also an entrepreneur. As within the past 2 years, I believe he would have began his new entrepreneurship as owner of his establishment as a barber. Kendrick is a critical thinker and has a passion for people. He has done very well in his community. In the Foxhill area, he's a person who I do believe he's the president of his association in the Foxhill area to helps with the young persons and who assists many of the persons in this community. So he's a humanitarian. He's done well for himself and to ensure that he gives back to the community. And I think Sunrise will be delighted and ensure that they have another person amongst us who's giving, who'll be a part of our team moving forward, and I'm sure he'll be thrust into the limelight into very shortly. P. Doneth was going to have him working next year in her team. So please let us welcome Kendrick Dames. He is a very personal person. I'm sure by those who would have met him in our breakout rooms, he's very relatable, and so please welcome in this morning.
Thank you, President Therese. It's so interesting that you would mention his profession as such, and I do understand why both his image and your image are similar. And it's only because of work constraints that I don't now appear to be the same as yourselves. But other than that, they said there are just a few perfect heads out there. The others have hair on them. So certainly we will take it from there. Rotary International, Rotary is an international organization of business and professional people with Rotary clubs nestled all around the world with more than 44,000 clubs. When one joins Rotary, he or she becomes a part of a worldwide fraternity. You can travel throughout most of the world and find a Rotary club within easy distance. Rotarians will welcome you warmly, even though the language may be different, the food unusual, and the location far from home. The objective of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideals of service as a basis of worthy enterprise, and in particular, to encourage and foster, first, the development of acquaintance as an opportunity for service. Second, high ethical standards in business and professions, the recognition of the worthiness of all useful occupation, and the dignifying by each Rotarian of his occupation as an opportunity to serve society. Third, the application of the ideal of service by every Rotarian to his personal, business, and most importantly, community life. Fourth, the advancement of international understanding, goodwill, and peace throughout a world fellowship of business and professional persons united in the ideals of service. I charge you to judge yourself by the Rotary's 4-week test of the things you think, say, or do. Firstly, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Kendrick, you have a lot to learn about Rotary. It's not just another club, especially this club that you are about to partake in. It's a way of life, but you are elected, elected to the membership because we felt you would fit into this way of life. You'll be expected to attend the weekly meetings. In fact, you must attend if you are to remain a Rotarian. Always remember Rotary's mottos: service above self, and he profits most who serves best. Rotary is like everything else. You get out of it what you put into it. At this time, I wish, and please tell me, Kendrick, that there's someone with you to affix your pin on your lapel, because I'm certain that your sponsor has already provided a pin for you in this virtual environment. Other than that, there's a fine coming for your sponsor. You might speak. Do you have a pin available? I'm getting intermittent audio, so I'm not sure of your response.
You turn your mic, Ken. He does have his pen. He does have his pen. I don't know.
Okay, I'm not hearing him press.
Yeah. Your mic, Kendrick.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do. I'm having a difficulty with reading the language,
Yeah.
but just raise your hand, one finger. You have your pen? Yes. There you go. You can hear me. Okay. Firstly, let us. First of all, I asked of you, Kendrick, do you accept our invitation into the membership of the Rotary Club of Nassau Sunrise? If so, please give us a nod of a perfect head. There you go. We can't hear you. Rotary members of Sunrise, is there anyone present today who has any objection to Kendrick being a part of this club? If you do, we will catch you up at the next phase of this meeting. If not, he has been so accepted to be a part of your club based on the fact that he is here today. Kendrick, we charge you to make sure that at each day you adorn your pin. It's the symbol that identifies you as a Rotarian, not just locally, but throughout the world. Today, you have entered and become a part of a club that now, because of you, has 72 members. Our DG has charged in the club's board's meeting to ensure that not only we get quality members, but we find every opportunity to sustain them. So certainly, as your sponsor and president has indicated, there is a post available for you. You are in Fox Hill, so there's a possibility that the building that's just at the corner of Yamakor Road and Fox Hill Road, whenever your club is there doing a community service, it can help the citizenry by ensuring that those men who, through no fault of their own, reside therein, we have an opportunity to use your talent to ensure that they keep a perfect head. And so members of the Rotary Club of Nassau Sunrise, please make welcome into your family at this hour, our newest Rotarian in the world, Rotarian Kendrick Dames. President Therese, it's certainly my pleasure to hand now this new member over to you. And at next week, I would expect a report as to the next service project that he would have already accomplished between now and then. Thank you, and
Will do.
Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, AG Ken, and welcome Kendrick to Rotary Club Nassau Sunrise. We hope this journey be a fulfillment one for you, and you continue to do your community service to both your community and the club at large. Most welcome, Kendrick. All right. I'm going to work on your audio next time. In our Rotarian fashion, we also like to highlight our members of the club. And this is this point in time in our program, we used to have membership spotlight, and I would like to invite Rotary Leader Carla to give us our membership spotlight for this morning. Don't think Leah persons have been missing this morning. I don't think Leah Carla is on. If not, we will have to move on in our program. And that being said, I'd like to invite Rotarian Duran to introduce our speaker for this morning, our guest speaker this morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Guest speaker for this morning will be PhD Mike Stafford. PhD Mike Stafford is a graduate of Freeport High School on the island of Grand Bahama. Mike Stafford grew up on, under, and around the water. His passion for the ocean turned into his career. After graduation, he attended commercial diving school in California and worked as a commercial diver off the West Coast and the Gulf of Mexico. Returning home to the Bahamas, he stayed with diving but switched to the less dangerous and much more fun recreational side of the business. He worked for the Underwater Explorer Society, UNEXO, as dive operations manager at the Jack Tar Hotel in West End, Grand Bahama, and later as operations manager at UNEXO in Freeport. While at UNEXO, he was recognized as one of the 3 who started the now world famous shark feeding dive, and was recognized as the first in the Bahamas to hand feed sharks by Skin Diver magazine. Having been recruited for the position at Divi Flamingo Beach on the southern Caribbean island of Bonaire, he left the Bahamas in 1992. From there, he held dive and hotel management positions in Grand Cayman, Caraco, and Cayman Brac, where he was the resort general manager. Returning back to Grand Bahama in 2002, he became the general manager of Ocean Reef Resort in Freeport before joining Bradford Marine Bahamas in 2006 as yacht and ship broker, yard foreman, project manager, PFSO, and tow captain. He is also the director of the Marine Operators Association in the Bahamas. Mike is a certified scuba instructor with 7 different agencies and holds a 100-ton A captain's license, and is an avid spear fisherman and weekend stone crab fisherman. Mike is also very active in the Grand Bahama Emergency Water Relief Foundation, commonly referred to as the Rotary Water Plant. After 16 years of running the Rotary Water Plant, Mike got a call from a Nassau Rotarian and was offered the position of managing a 3 million gallon per day reverse osmosis facility that supplies over 70% of the water in Grand Bahama. Mike joined Rotary in 2002 and is a 2-time past president of the Rotary Club of Freeport and assistant governor for the district 6990 from July 2013 to July 2015. Mike has also served as the district governor, district director of club operations and district membership chair and multi-district conference chair. He was the charter secretary of the Disaster Network of Rotarian Assistance and Rotarian Action Group. He has received a number of awards, including District Humanitarian Service Award, District AG of the Year, District Service Above Self Award, the Peter Christie Heart of Rotary, and the Sir Durward Knowles Humanitarian Service Award. Mike is happily married to a mermaid that he fished up in Grand Cayman, and they have 1 lovely child with orange fur and 4 paws. That is PAG Mike Stafford.
Thank you. Can I share the screen, please?
Yes, one moment, PAG. You should be able to now.
Okay, who's our Zoom expert here?
So you should be able to share your screen. You see the green.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
Do you see it now?
No, we can still see you.
How about now?
No, so once you select the item you want to share, then you click share at the top at the bottom right or something left.
Oh, got it. Now you got me.
There you go.
Okay. First of all, thank you for inviting me to speak today. This is Water and Sanitation Month, and you're the first club that I'm presenting to. Last year I did about 28 presentations. So we're here to talk about the rotary water plant, and let's talk about what first started the whole idea. We get hit by hurricanes up here a lot in Grand Bahama, and during 2004 we had Hurricane Francis, and then 2 weeks later we had Hurricane Jean, and it was a really bad storm for us. The airport flooded, as it always does. Total destruction all over the island. And if you look at this picture, it's kind of grainy. You can see this lady out front just sitting there, just totally devastated. In fact, she was in shock. When I came across her, I had to go inside her house and find a blanket and wrap her around her and then call an ambulance for her. The people were really, really hurt from Francis and Jean and Dorian and the rest of them. So how the project came about, after Francis and Jean in 2004, the TK Foundation, which is a local charitable trust based in Nassau, wanted to respond proactively rather than reactively to assist the island suffering with water shortages after a storm cuts off the local supply. They needed a local partner to ensure that the project would be sustainable, and of course, Rotary was a natural choice. It just so happens that at that time, 3 Rotarians were in the senior management position of the TK Foundation. The Rotary Club East Nassau agreed to sponsor the grant, with Lindsay Consino writing the application. And in looking for an international partner, then RI Director Barry Rassin suggested reaching out to past RCEN member Miles Pritchard, who was then in the Rotary Club of Santa Monica, California. So the structure of it, we became the Grand Bahama Emergency Water Relief Foundation. And the reason why that happened was at the beginning of the project, none of the 3 clubs on Grand Bahama supported the project, including my club. And I was the president of the Freeport Club at the time. And the reason why was lawyers. And the lawyers were saying, oh, there's so much liability involved in this. And luckily we had one lawyer on our group, and he suggested that if we make a government registered foundation, it would protect the directors and volunteers from liability. So that's how it was formed. Even so, we still have fire and theft insurance, and that comes with public liability insurance. We have a Grand Bahama Port Authority license, so that enables us to have a customs bond and bring in import supplies duty-free. And of course, we're a registered nonprofit. The purpose and function is to be able to manufacture and distribute drinking water to those in need after a natural disaster interrupts the normal supply. So we got started, and once you get that wheel turning, man, it don't stop. So let's look at the funding. District 7020 used district designated funds at $25,000. District 5280 did $6,250, and the Rotary Foundation matches that by 100%. And then the Rotary Club of Santa Monica put in $6,500. The foundation matches that with 50%. And then additional Rotary clubs put in $15,167. So the Rotary Foundation scratched their head and said, where did this 167 come and why didn't they round it up? But they matched it at 50% as well, which made $95,000 worth of Rotary funds. And then the TK matching grant was $122,610. So we had a total of $217,610. And this is a perfect example of your club's foundation contributions coming back to you. So what did we get for 2017 grand? We got a hurricane-proof building, 4-inch solid cement walls, metal roof, steel doors. It's 10 feet above grade. All the equipment is elevated, and we're a half a mile away from the NEMA headquarters and warehouse. The heart of the plant is a reverse osmosis machine, and it produces 7,500 gallons per day. It's fully automatic, draws water from its own well, and it's self-cleaning weekly. And there's very few proprietary parts. So if you look at it, a lot of it, you can just go down to the hardware store and buy parts. Water storage, we have 5,500 gallons inside the plant. We have water trailers and tanks. You might recognize Mr. Rotary here, Sonny Wah. He was instrumental in helping to build the plant. And we had 10 trailers to start with. We sent one to Abaco during Dorian, and then 2 wandered off on us during Dorian. We can't find them. We have 12 new 275 gallon water totes, and many tanks disappeared in Dorian as well. You'll see that we just used to have the rotary water on this plate that can come off, and now we have another system that's more secure for us. We have a 20 kW diesel generator with 200 hours runtime of fuel. Freeport Oil provides us with free fuel. GB Power gives us free electricity. GB Utility gives us free water. Sands Brewery gives us free beer and wine. And I still can't get no Rotarians to come out and help out, except for this one. He don't even drink. Not really. Rotaract is a huge help at the plant. Every time we call them, they're there. The water trailers connect together like this. So if we're going to go out to the eastern end of the island or the western end of the island, we can take 3 at a time, drop one off in front of a school or hurricane shelter, and move on with the next trailer. By the way, we already have our water tanks full of water inside the hurricane shelters before the storm hits. So we're proactive rather than reactive. Here's one of our trailers with Cliff going door to door. A lot of people don't want to leave their house after a storm. They want to protect their things. So we go door to door in the neighborhoods and fill their jugs for them. This is a building that you can see the roof damage. And there was about 200 families living in this building and hundreds of children. And because they lost their roof, when the water did come back on, they couldn't hook up electricity to pump the water up. So every morning we would take 2 of these trailers to them, and they would get their water for sanitary purposes and cooking and things like that. We also would take water to the clinic in 8 Mile Rock as well and fill their tank so that they can operate. Kids love the water plant. You can see they're all over it. Let's talk about water quality. Water quality is measured in total dissolved solids, or TDS, and the US EPA considers 500 TDS or less as potable. The Bahamas follows the World Health Organization, which is 1,000 TDS. We produce around between 20 and 30 TDS, which is really good water. During Hurricane Sandy, we produced 2,000 gallons of water, and that was our first big test of the water plant, and we thought that was pretty cool. During Hurricane Matthew, we produced 100,000 gallons, and we thought that was really cool. During Hurricane Dorian, we did well over 300,000 gallons, and now we think that was super cool. And we were still supplying thousands of gallons of water a week to certain restaurants 18 months after the storm. And you can see the activity around the water plant. We were the only water in town for the first 8 days until the NGOs came up and started their water systems. Dorian flooded the water plant. You can see the picture on the left is all organized. We had all these gallon jugs ready to give to people that didn't have water. And then on the right, we had what we found when I opened the door, scattered all over the place. You can see that line on the black tank there. That's how high the water came in to the water plant. We couldn't keep up with the demand. We just couldn't keep up. We were running the machine 24 hours a day and we couldn't keep up. So we put out a call for a new system, and our district 6990 came to our need, and we got a second machine, and you can see how elevated it is in case there's another flood. Then we found out that the existing 20 kW generator could not run both machines at the same time. So I put out a video on WhatsApp, and a certain captain friend of mine showed it to his boss, who just happened to be the new owners of Walker's Key, and they fully funded a brand new 30 kW Perkins diesel generator and has his electrician hooking it up. So we really want to thank Carl and Gigi Allen, the new owners of Walker's Key, for coming to our aid. They've been really good with Grand Key and all over the Bahamas in hurricane. In fact, their utility supply yacht brought over the second machine for us, and they brought hundreds of thousands of tons, hundreds of thousands of pounds of supplies after Hurricane Dorian. So now we have 2 machines, and they are identical. They both produce 7,500 gallons per day. The only difference is one is wall mounted and elevated in case of flooding, and they carry the same spare parts, which we keep in stock. We also have 2 500-gallon water trailers, and they were donated by the Rotary Club of Perrine Cutler Ridge, Palmetto Bay in 6990. And they also donated us a truck. So we have a truck, we have trailers, we have everything we need. We learned a lot of lessons, and we didn't want people to come inside the plant, so we invited outside fill stations. We needed more reliability in case the generator failed, so the outside fill stations are also gravity fed. And since they're outside, that means they can be utilized 24 hours a day when the plant was closed. We needed cooking facilities and a fridge and a stove. Did I mention that the fridge is kept stocked? And still no Rotarians, only Rotaractors and Cliff. Just kidding. We needed better first aid supplies and insect repellent because we were getting chewed on. And we needed cell phone charging stations, not just for us, but for the people that were coming for water. We also wanted ZNS radio piped outside so the people getting water knew what was going on. ZNS did a fantastic job at letting us know what was happening on the island. We needed more parking area, so we approached the Grand Bahama Port Authority and they let us clear the lot next door. And we needed more storage. So some of these containers that came over on Carl and Gigi Allen's supply yacht had containers, and we put the containers there, and that's where we're keeping our trucks, our trailers, and our tanks. A lot of the lessons learned. If you look at the right side, you see this green hose here. That's actually filling one of our tanks and trailers. If you look on the left side, this guy in the red shirt has a hose that was mistakenly left there after filling a trailer, and he's now filling these people's jugs, and he's wasting all this water. When I went to him and I said, hey, you can't do that, because that meant that these fill stations over here on the left can't be used because they're sucking all the way. He says, I'm a police officer. I can do what I want here. So I said, all right, no problem. I went inside, and since I did most of the piping inside, I closed the valve and I came back up and disconnected the hose and said, no, you can't. He said, yes, I can. I said, do you want me to call the commissioner of police? I don't think he'll be very happy with your attitude. So he kind of got quiet on me. This is a pillow tank giving out water next to a hardware store where people are gathering and getting supplies. These are a couple of Rotarians here. Like I said, kids love it. Just look at them. And this young boy here on top of the tank, he is now actually an adult and a member of Team Sea Grape and really doing well, helping the community and repairing houses and cleaning up the neighborhoods. Here we have our past member of parliament, Peter Turnquest, in the east giving out water. And here's Cliff again giving water into a house. We have some expenses, and there would be insurance, fire, theft, liability, GB Port Authority license fee, government foundation fee, mechanical maintenance fees, facility maintenance, and then any kind of unexpected expenses. We got some wish lists going on. We need to put new guttering that got damaged in Dorian. We've done a lot of stuff already. We've already put the new world metal doors on. We've replaced our tote tanks. We need some more trailers. We've done exterior solar lighting. We need to convert the interior. We need some more gas pumps and hoses, which we use to fill our tote tanks, trailers. We want to paint the building. We've already elastomeric coated the containers and the inside of the building. And we got a few other things in progress. Our new 30 kW diesel generator is in progress. So we're looking good for the storms that may approach us coming up. Any questions? Oh, did I just get lost? Do we have any questions? So a lot of people ask, can we duplicate this project in other areas of the island? And one of the problems is somebody's really got to own that project and be there all the time throughout the year and working on it. And that happens at this plant here. I'm there all the time every week. In fact, my wife thought I was having an affair because I spent so much time at the water plant. Then I am having an affair with Aquacita, which is what we call the water plant.
Mike, how do you go about getting funding for your ongoing expenses?
Begging letters, basically. Some of the clubs support us. The Rotary Club of East Nassau supports us annually. The Rotary Club of Freeport supports us annually. After Hurricane Dorian, a lot of people that weren't on board for the water plant really realized how important it was. Because as I said, we were the only water available in Grand Bahama other than the little bottles of drinking water and things like that that came over with the relief vessels. So we get our funds from that. as I say, the generator, I put together a WhatsApp video and I sent it out to a number of people, hoping just to build a small fund that, you know, if everybody gave $100 or something like that. And Mr. Allen, he saw it from his yacht captain and he said he'll fund the entire generator. And he sent his electrician over and the electrician verified that we needed a 30 kW generator. And sure enough, we have a 30 kW sitting in the plant right now that we're busy getting hooked up. Now there's things that we need to get it hooked up. We need the exhaust flume and we need some conduit and piping. So I went to my friends at SingGuard Services and they're going to help fund it and donate the supplies and all that. And that's one reason, one way we're getting funding. Also, as I say, Focal gives us free diesel whenever we need it and oil for the generators. Freeport Power gives us free electricity. Not that we use electricity much because we have our own generator, which we run weekly to run the systems to make sure everything's running. And then the water company gives us free water. Well, we make our own water, but we do have a bathroom with a toilet there. So that's what that's used for.
From time to time, you also support commercial enterprises. Do you charge them?
Yes. After the storm, what happened in Dorian and in Francis and Jean and Matthew and other storms, the well fields got flooded. So the well fields were inundated with salt. In Matthew, it wasn't that bad, but it cleared up in about 6 weeks. In Dorian, it didn't. The well fields are still salted. So none of the restaurants on the island had water. So we gave them tanks, tote tanks, and we gave them water. We with our trailers, we would fill their tote tanks. Some of them had tote tanks just for their ice machine. Some of them had tote tanks filled with water just for everything. And we did that for about 18 months. We had Burger King and KFC and Wendy's and different restaurants and hotels come for water. In fact, I think past district governor, the last one from the Bahamas, whose name escapes me right now.
Would it be Dick McComb?
No, he was staying from Doctor's Hospital.
Charles Seeley.
He was staying at Pelican Bay, and he looked out his window and snapped a photo of one of our trailers there where the water was being used to supply the restaurants at the Pelican Bay Hotel. So the restaurants very much help us. So whenever we ask for something, if we're having a raffle or something, for a gift certificate or a hotel stay, they always give it to us because they know that we were there for them when they needed us.
Also, Mike, from a project management standpoint, I mean, it sounds as though you guys learned a lot over the process, starting off with just one machine and then elevating the second one because to avoid surges, etc. I mean, what's the biggest lesson you learned overall in terms of managing this long-term project?
Boy, that's a trick question there. The hardest thing was really getting people to come throughout the year. Like today, let's go to the water plant and clean up. Let's cut the grass. Let's do this. And it's very difficult to get people because they all got their things going on and the different clubs got their own fundraisers and things like that. So if I put out a call saying, hey, let's get together at the water plant this Saturday and cut the grass and clean inside and all that, generally the ones that come out are Rotaract, a few Rotarians, but mostly always Rotaract, particularly the Rotaract Club of 8 Mile Rock. So that's one of the things. But having said that, whenever there's a storm, the water plant is the gathering place. All Rotarians know, just come to the water plant. That's where we get together and we network. We have a What's Up chat group of Rotarians of Grand Bahama, but then we have another separate one of Rotarians that operate the water plant. And we also have a very good relationship with the police force, and they know to come find me to get me to the water plant. And in fact, in Matthew, they came and found me on the way. I was cutting my way there with a chainsaw, and they came up and said, hey, we know the way, let's go. So I followed them to the water plant, and they borrowed my chainsaw, and they brought it back a week later with a bent bar. And then in Dorian, they came and found me, and they said, hey, Mike, do you have a chainsaw? And I said, no, it went underwater. But they got me to the water plant, and we opened up, and then we found that the place had been flooded. Luckily, the water tank was full, and the gravity system, we implemented that right away. There must have been about 180 people there waiting for water because Dorian was a 3-day event. It wasn't like a quick moving storm like some of the storms we have. So we gave out water gravity feed until I started up the machinery that went underwater, and we were in business. And we didn't shut that machine down for about 2.5 months. It ran 24/7. We shut it down once just to check the oil and fluids in the generator. So the water maker machine, the reverse osmosis, is very robust and very heavy duty, and it can run 24/7 unattended. And the gravity feed stations were really good too, because a lot of people that worked in industry around the area, like the shipyard and the power company and things like that, they couldn't come out from 9 to 5 to get their water, but they could come at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. And when we had enough water, we had the gravity feed stations open all night long. And generally what would happen is the water machine would be running, the reverse osmosis would be running, and when we would come in the morning, the tank was almost empty, and it was still filling the tank.
Hey, PAG Mike, good morning. And once again, thank you for what you do. Certainly the efforts over there in Grand Bahama has inspired those of us in the disaster committee post Dorian. And as you're fully aware of the acquisition of the mobile plant that in partnership with Pure H2O, we were able to secure, and is able to duplicate what you're doing there in Grand Bahama throughout the Bahamas, and if necessary, in islands or nations close in the event of another Dorian-like storm. So certainly, we appreciate you from District 7020 and all of the efforts and the encouragement you give us and the hours that you put in on taking care of that, while you're seeking to take care of the persons of the people of the Bahamas, and by extension, expounding the values of Rotary throughout the community. So thank you, PAG Mike.
Thank you, Ken.
Okay.
And I should also talk a little bit about some of the other hurricane relief efforts we've done. After Dorian, we went into a community called Sea Grape, and we rounded up some guys, some young men sitting under a tree, and we put them to work just clearing the streets in certain neighborhoods, because the destruction was really bad in Freeport. I mean, we flooded, and we got a heavy pine yards here, and all the pine trees were all over the roads and all that. So this group of about 25 young men, they were put together, first of all, to clean the streets, so that people could pass. Then we started thinking, well, okay, well, since everybody flooded and all their sheetrock's all wet, let's muck and gut. So we started mucking and gutting. And then what happened is one of the NGOs over here gave us a lesson in getting rid of mold. Everybody always thought, myself included, that to get rid of mold, you just spray bleach on it and you're done. Well, bleach does hide the blackness of the mold, but it doesn't get rid of it. There's only 2 chemicals that actually do that. So they gave us a quick lesson on how to treat for mold. And then this Team Sea Grape started doing that. Then as we started getting relief supplies, they started hanging sheetrock. Then the TK Foundation came on board along with the Lyford Key Charitable Trust, and they gave Rotary money to build houses in an island called Sweeting's Key, which is off the end of the island. And the only way to get there is by boat. So they built, I want to say 16 homes on Sweeting's Key, and these were elevated on stilts, very well built. And this is all done by Team Sea Grape. Then we went out recently and we built a home in Sea Grape, and we've also built one just recently in West End. And that was all helped with the TK Foundation and the Lyford Key Charitable Trust. And once again, the TK Foundation was the one who gave us $122,000 for the water plant. So Nassau money does flow to Freeport, and it's very well appreciated. Another thing we did after Dorian is across the street from the water plant. Across the street from the water plant was the Falcon Boys Club being built, and they had a metal building which was also elevated, and we used that as a distribution center. So we commandeered the gym at the YMCA, and we had all our containers and trailers coming there, And that was like a sort center. We also gave away supplies there. And then we took them to the Falcon Boys Club, and people could get their water, and then right across the street, they can get their food and clothing and other needs. So we really came together and got very well organized, and it all came from the nucleus of the meetings that we had at the water plant.
Are there any other further questions for PAG Stafford? If not, I would like to invite Rotarian Kemi to give a vote of thanks this morning.
Hi, good morning. So PAG Mike, firstly, as a native of Freeport and someone whose family, myself, lost everything in Dorian as well, definitely want to say a heartfelt thanks to you personally for all of your efforts. But also a big thank you for your wonderful presentation today. For us, it definitely gives us a very good example of what we can do, especially around the theme of water and sanitation, how we can design meaningful, long-lasting, sustainable projects, and more importantly, how we can benefit and use the funding that we're putting into Rotary to help our everyday lives as well. So definitely thank you for taking your time out this morning, and keep up the hard work, and of course, count on us whenever you need us as well.
Thank you. We've been very lucky, like in most of the time, the airport is flooded. So the first supplies always come from Nassau, generally by boat. And you guys have been with us all throughout all of our storms, sending us containers of food and water and things like that. Well, water is no longer needed anymore, but food is, and things like that. And we were very fortunate with Dorian that the East Coast of the United States didn't get hit, because we got a lot of money, a lot of funds, relief funds from District 6990, but also throughout the world, you know, with past RI President Barry at the helm, he was able to talk to all his influential Rotarian friends, and a lot of water, a lot of funds got channeled through the Disaster Network Assistant Rotarian Action Group 501c tax deductible fund. And then District 6990 has one called the Robbins Fund. So people are able to donate money to that and get tax deductible, and they're actually able to specify where they want it to go, whether they want it to go to the water plant or they want it to go to hurricane relief on Abaco or Grand Bahama Island.
Thank you, PAG Mike. Thank you for awesome presentation. I think it was well received, and I do believe we will assist where we can in the future for the water plant, as is need be. As we begin to close out our meeting, I just want to invite Director Tanisha to come and give our raffle drawing for this morning.
Okay, here we go. Thank you, President Therese. Can everyone see the screen? You guys see my wheel?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.
Come on, big gas money, big gas money. Yay, Melanie. Congrats.
Yay, thank you.
I will be in touch with you.
Thanks, Anna. I could use that.
Congrats, Melanie.
Thanks. Thanks, everybody.
We'll now have our four-way test by Rotarian Craftsville.
All right, guys, let's get ready. Let's get set and go. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Lastly, beneficial to all concerned.
Will it be beneficial
to all?
And will it be fun?
No, ain't no fun.
No, it's not that.
Indeed.
Thank you, Grasswell. I'd like to invite Dino to give us our final toast this morning.
It would help if you unmic Dino.
Well, that don't
So
work then. I'd like to
I was
invite everybody
offline.
to raise a glass with me to Rotary around the world.
Rotary around the world.
Around the world.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out this morning. Hope you enjoy your day. We will now have our breakout rooms for those for more fellowship this morning. And thank you once again for PAG Mike for an awesome presentation. And we wish you all to have a blessed day this morning. Have a great day.
Felix, where art thou?
I'm right here now, sir.
Are we golfing? I just wanted to. I hope you all are not assembling and golfing in the tent.
Dr. Keith, that's the president.
All right. No, I know you can be around the golf, so I following you. But don't try to push me off on nobody.
I'm following the president.
Hi.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
How are you?
Good.
That was great this morning.
Yeah. I guess the last time I saw you was at a convention somewhere.
Germany.
Was it Germany? Okay.
You'll be in St. Martin. Oh no, you're not in our district. I just remember. So you'll be in Houston then.
Yeah, for sure. I'm already booked.
Yes.
And if you are planning on going to Houston, you probably want to get your airfare now because with the Russian crisis, the prices are going to skyrocket.
Yep. Airfares are definitely going to go up.
Yeah, that's crazy what's going on over there.
Yeah. I should look at that today. I'm happy you mentioned that.
Yeah.
So Leon, what part of the world are you now? Dubai?
Leon, unmute your mic.
Try Barcelona.
Oh, you're in Barcelona. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's awesome.
Attending Mobile World Congress.
Okay.
Leon, tell Donna she has to address you as Your Excellency.
Your Excellency. Right, Your Excellency, Sir Leon.
They got about 60,000 in attendance.
Oh, nice.
It scaled down. The last show they had before COVID, they had 103,000. So it's down to 60.
Oh, wow.
Barcelona's a nice city. I like Barcelona.
Yeah, I like it. I've been here any number of times. The show used to be in Cannes, but it got too small. Cannes became too small. Living accommodation sometimes was like 45 minutes out. And around about 2005, they brought it to Barcelona.
If your ears are ringing or someone, that's because we're going to be talking about you at breakfast.
A missing seat at the table.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to wait for to go into the Huawei show. Huawei Pavilion, Felix, is probably bigger than the Bahama Conference Center.
You go to the Huawei session, they can take your passport from you.
That's true. Yeah, the whole Alive and Kill Bahamas team is here, and you know the Huawei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't allowed to do business with Huawei.
Good question.
Right. Well, enjoy. When you're back.
I go to Geneva tomorrow, so I'm going to be at least a week in Geneva. See how it goes.
Okay. Is Pat Bill ready?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to the ITU meeting, and then present my credentials to the Secretary General. So I don't know. I have to check on and find out if she's here yet.
All right. I think I'm gonna get at least start for breakfast because traffic is crazy nowadays. Takes me 45 minutes to get there.
Well, you know the time difference. It's 2 o'clock over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat some like great baskets of food for me.
Yeah. Okay, guys. See you all later. Let me
Take
get to
care.
the show.
Have fun.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Have fun.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye, everyone.
Kendrick.
Bye.
Oh, he doesn't have audio. Anyway, welcome to the and Kendrick. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks, Mike. See you in Houston.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll see you there. I'm looking forward to your district social 70-20.